Every Tuesday, we're going to come together and do an opportunity presentation for new prospects, people that are interested in taking a look at pool funding for the first time. And today happens to be our very first opportunity presentation for pool funding. And it's currently 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right now. And hang on one second. Hey, Lisa. We got like 75 people coming in.
Yeah, I'll mute them.
All right, so yeah, just jump on it really quick, okay? Because it's a lot of people. We normally have less than this when we're talking in groups. Anyway, so this is our first one, and you can tell by that we're just kind of warming up to setting this up properly. I think we'll probably set up the Zooms in the future where everybody's automatically muted when they first come in. Normally we don't do that because we are very interactive and open and transparent, but we're in these larger groups, we're going to have to do that. Okay. All right. So anyway, we have capacity, I think, for 1,000 people to join us. So you can only imagine. This is a very exciting time for pool funding. We opened up what we call the $10 pool back in November of 2023. We launched our first crypto in the market on January 4th of 2024. And currently, let me just show you how that coin is doing in the market right now. Let me see here. Go to a chart here. Okay, currently, we refresh it. Our PFB coin that we launched on January 4th of this year currently has a value of $145,294 per coin. Okay. And there are 1 million coins total supply. Anyway, we are doing things quite different than almost anything else out in the crypto space. And you're going to learn a little bit about that today. Obviously, you can't learn everything the first time you sit down because there's a lot to take in. We do have a course. It's a series of videos that you can take for free, and it will pretty much equip you with most of what you need to know to really completely understand the whole concept of pool funding and why it's such a wonderful opportunity. But in a nutshell, what we're looking to do is provide funding for people that they don't have to pay back. Okay. So let me get into the official presentation that I've lined up for you guys today. It'll only take about 15 minutes to go through it. And then after that, the rest of the time, we'll have about 45 minutes where it's a general Q&A. And again, for some of you, you're going to be basing your questions on only about 15 minutes of information, which is fine. But realize that, we offer all the information that you'd ever want before you'd ever have to make a decision of joining, putting any money into a wallet or anything like that. Okay. All right. So let me share my screen, go into that PowerPoint. It's slideshow from the start. Okay, community powered funding. Instead of going into debt at the bank, if you earn $25 an hour, it takes 400 hours to repay a $10,000 interest-free loan. I want you to really think about that. When you normally hear the word funding, you normally think about, oh, yeah, that's something I could use, but I got to pay it back. Usually the process of paying it back is working, your whatever you do, your job, your company, your business, however you make money. And so, but it's going to take a time and effort to pay back even an interest-free loan. And let's face it, if a bank offers you an interest-free loan, that's their best offer, okay? Well, we have a better idea. Our private community has a proven system to provide our members with funding they don't have to pay back. That's a big difference. Like in the case of that $10,000 interest-free loan, that would save you 400 hours, right, of time to repay it if you're earning about $25 an hour for when you're working. So we look at this as a better way to develop the economy. I've been analyzing the economy for decades, and honestly, there are a lot of things that never made any sense to me as far as why we do things economically, and why do we burden the individual with so much debt and obligation when, if you go to the very top end of the economic structures, central banks, along with their treasuries, are literally just kind of creating money out of thin air. So at the top, it's created out of thin air, and at the bottom, everybody's in bondage paying it back. It's just kind of weird. Now, if you take a look at how we structured ourselves, what you're going to need to do, your contribution into pool funding in order for this to work for you, is you'll be teaming up with 3 or 4 people that join us, and this will take far less of your time than you would spend working towards repaying a bank loan. So on the one hand, let's just use that $10,000 interest-free loan as an example, where you maybe put 400 hours into work to pay that loan back. If you receive $10,000 from pool funding, you're not going to put anything anywhere near 400 hours and just working with 3 or 4 people on a team to participate within our system. Once everybody knows what their part is within the system, and it's pretty simple, then it takes very, very little time, effort, and even anything else. So the big question always everybody asks when they're new is like, okay, this sounds great, but where does the money come from, that doesn't need to be paid back? Your community service will contribute to our system of pumping money out of the market, and you don't even have to be a trader. If you look at most opportunities, especially when you're talking about digital money or cryptocurrency, most opportunities are, basically trying to teach and train you to become a trader. And guys, having had over 30 years of trading experience myself, I got to tell you, even after 30 years, I don't feel anywhere qualified to, tell other people how to properly trade. Okay. This is, trading is a, it's like shifting sands, depending on which way the wind is blowing, you might have a strategy that works for a period of time, but when the whiff shifts, when the direction of the wind shifts, you'll find that your strategy no longer works, and then you have to adopt a new strategy, and you can actually lose money in the process. Someone's writing on my screen. Okay. So teaching people how to become a trader, I don't believe is a really realistic approach to helping people create wealth. So what we've done is we've designed a system where that's not required. Okay. You just have to do your part inside of our community, which is going to be relatively small when you compare it to almost anything else. And what the result of that is it's going to contribute to a pumping that we're going to be doing against the market, pulling money out of the market. And as we pull money out of the market, we distribute that money back out to our members in pool funding. Okay? All right, so moving on. Okay, let's face it, guys, we see it all over everywhere right now. You've got AI and you got robots that really could take over almost anybody's job right now. And if you kind of look at what you've been doing for money, you might ask yourself, could a robot or a computer or artificial intelligence, could it actually do what you do? Could it be trained to do what you do? And I think if we're honest, most of us will admit that almost anything that we're doing could be replaced by a robot or replaced by artificial intelligence. Okay, now let's see here. So since the AI and robots are here to stay, there's no way for us to stop that, even if we wanted to. They will be consuming jobs in the next 5 to 10 years. Pretty much every job. I mean, they can build a robot faster than they can build an 18-year-old human, right? So it takes a while to create a human and groom it up to be an adult where it's going to be working, whereas a robot, it could be put on an assembly line and made in a matter of, in some cases, minutes or hours, depending on how that goes. So it's going to change the world, and I think we are better off if we just embrace it instead of resist it and go along with it, but then put our 2 cents in and say, you know what, this could actually be a good thing. This could lead to where technology takes over all this work, where we start to look at human beings differently than we may have in the past. I think in the past, we've always seen human beings as kind of like workers, laborers, people are meant to be productive and do something, to contribute to economics, right? But if we take the step back and ask ourselves, what are we, and what is it to be a human, and is our only role that of a worker? And we might come to the conclusion that we're so much more than that, and we should actually maybe use the opportunity where technology can make economics better for everyone, and this could lead to what we call a luxury economy. Getting a little bit of static. Let me just mute somebody here. All right. So this could actually be a good thing. And we would love to see a world where there is no poverty, where everybody has not only all of their needs met, but even beyond that, much of what they desire and the things that they want, they're also being able to enjoy those things, and that's just kind of a general a general way of being economically. So this is what we believe pool funding can contribute towards creating a luxury economy for humanity with what we're doing. And we're just at the beginning of what we're doing. This is the beginning. So the advantage of being an early adopter, and we're less than a year old, is that you could be showered with millions of dollars. So, you know how the story goes, that those people that show up early, all the low hanging fruit, all the great opportunities are still there for you to take advantage of being early. And that's certainly the case today. So if you are, coming into pool funding as an early adopter, you are really in a position to be showered with millions of dollars as a result of coming in early. But the one question we're going to have is, well, that's all great and good, but can you overlook, the rough edges that something new is going to have? Because you can't have it both ways. Okay, it takes time to kind of polish and get an operation where it's really looking like Fortune 500 company or something like that. It takes time to develop that. All right, now the innovation here of providing funding where you don't have to pay it back is such a new idea. Pool funding is a new approach. There's just no way anybody is just going to be able to figure out what we're doing unless they go through some training. Okay. So in our case, especially in our case, probably more so than almost anything else out there, training is going to be the central key to making this work for everyone. And if a person is unwilling to be trained, they probably should go look for a different opportunity, because you probably won't make it in pool funding. I'll be quite honest with you. If you refuse training, it's probably a guaranteed fail in pool funding for you, okay? If you receive training and you're open to it and you're willing to be shown how we do things, and you're willing to follow along and do the things that we know work, then you'll be really successful. And we offer training 7 days a week live. Okay. And you can also catch a portion of that training that's recorded on YouTube, every day of the week as well. So we offer the training. The training is provided, but if you don't plug into it, just expect that the result will be failure. And then I just want to tell all of you that are considering pool funding as an option to maybe do something for yourself as someone just looking at us for the first time. I want this to be extremely clear on the front end that without this component, you will not succeed in pool funding. Okay, because we're too new, too innovative. We do things very different, and everything you might expect, or any assumption you might have about what and how things ought to be, probably isn't going to correlate with how things actually are in pool funding. That's how different we are, and you really got to catch on to what we're doing. That's only going to happen through training. Okay, we're not talking about a lot of time though. Maybe 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day, if you watch our YouTube videos. All right. Now, you will need an operating budget to plug into our system, okay? Much like any kind of like other opportunities out there, usually you need to have some sort of means to plug in with some kind of budget of, and in our case, we have the $1 pool and we have the $10 pool that are open now. And you could plug into the $1 pool for $30 as an operating budget. Or you can plug into the $10 pool with a $300 operating budget. And see, this operating budget sits in your wallet on your phone or computer, in your possession. So that's where the money sits, and you're using that money as instructed. Okay. Now, to recap, you'll need training to build and support a small team of 3 to 4 people and a budget of either $30 or $300. You will accumulate funds on a daily basis. So people like that. They don't like having to wait a week or wait a month and then, ask for permission to get their money. The way our system works is you're paid every day directly to your wallet, and you don't have to ask it for permission to receive anything because it's already in your wallet. Okay. Everything's decentralized. And so there's no central pot where people are paying money into, and then it's redistributed from there. It doesn't work like that in pool funding. It's actually the complete opposite of that. Any transactions that happen go from one wallet to wallet, and I'm not in the middle. There's no company in the middle. There's no bank in the middle. It goes just from peer to peer, from person to person, every single transaction that takes place within pool funding, so that no one has to go to a website, log in, and ask for their money. The money's already in your wallet, okay? And it's paid daily. You're getting a little piece every day, depending on your contributions to the community. You're paid accordingly, and that's funding that you don't have to pay back. And it basically comes down to, do you really want to have this alternative to the banks and investors and other things out there, where they're asking for you to pay the money back? Do you want an opportunity where you can receive funding that you don't have to pay back? Our system can provide that. And at this point, most people are either in or out. And this is where we get into our general Q&A. That wraps up this portion of the presentation. Let me stop sharing.
Mr. Fletcher.
Yes, sir.
Pool funding, it could be a very lucrative business for every single individual, not only in America, but around the world.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
But there's a few factors. You guys are a startup, okay, which is not a big deal.
Sure.
I was a startup at one point. We all were.
Sure.
A few things though. You said you're gonna grab some of these funds and invest it into crypto or online crypto or stocks.
No.
Okay, good.
No. Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
And are you a financial advisor?
Nope.
Okay. And you have no endorsements right now.
Nope.
And are you regulated by like the FDIC or any kind of government agency with transactions of currency between one individual to another?
We are what's called a web 3.0. These are great questions, but maybe you ought to tell me a little bit about who you are, Frank, because you're rattling on.
So I own a company. Yeah, I own a company called Lenders Loan Capital. I do business funding and financial consulting.
Okay.
And we're located in 5 different countries. And what we do is we find businesses for our clientele to bring in extra revenue. right?
Great.
And
Okay.
me and my advisors were talking, and we were thinking about getting involved into either crowdfunding or pool funding.
Uh-huh.
So we were looking into this a little bit, and I do know that it's a battle, man. It's not easy, especially without having financial. How do you like? You're not a financial advisor, right? And you're not a
Right.
financial consultant.
Right.
So what makes you qualified to do this?
Well, I do have experience in the crypto market, so I've been involved in cryptocurrency, and cryptocurrency, and when you're dealing in the financial area of
Mhm.
the world, is less regulated than almost everything else, right? You agree with me, Frank?
Yeah,
It's
especially with the dark web. Yep.
it's less regulated, but because we're not dealing with stocks or bonds, we're not dealing with the securities and things like that. And in many cases, a cryptocurrency may not even be seen as a security. That there's an ongoing you see the back and forth between like the SEC and large crypto organizations all the time. So there's been like this huge battle between Ripple, XRP, and the SEC, but looks like the SEC is coming out basically on the losing end of that battle that they've been in for years, because it's ultimately not being seen as a security.
Uh-huh.
But anyway,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
want to go
and
too deep into
and it's
the
but
weeds
it's a
here.
thing because there's taxes on this too. So
Yeah,
my biggest concern is like I would feel more comfortable if the funds went into like a trust. Like, do we have a contract with your company?
right.
How
First
do
of
I
all,
know?
you're asking questions based on what you don't know. So I'd like to say a
Oh,
few
I know
things
pool
because
funding, buddy. I know pool funding very well. It's been around for a long time.
I mean you don't know
So
what I've created is what I'm trying to say.
yeah, not what you created. No, yours is
But
evolutionary.
may,
I'm
may,
just saying, is there like a contract that we could sign to protect our funds?
well, here's the thing: your funds are in your wallet at all times, so they never leave your wallet. They're in your
Yeah,
possession.
but you're the operator of the platform, though. You can shut that whole thing down when transactions are going from one period to another.
All right, let me just try to explain my system as simply as possible so that it could eliminate most of your questions that you have here. Okay. We are a Web 3.0 website. Do you know what that is?
No, can you explain it?
Okay. So this is what you don't know about cryptocurrency is that Web 3.0 websites actually transact, usually in crypto. In most cases, it's crypto. So it's where you can connect a wallet such as like a MetaMask wallet. Okay. So ours is just a Web 3.0 website. MetaMask is the portion of the equation that is highly regulated. What they do is very much looked at by more so than the websites it connects to. The
Yeah, but
MetaMask,
how do we
because
know this is not going to be a pump and dump, though?
that's
That's my
that.
question. 'Cause
Yeah,
it seems like you're going to be buying your own coin, okay? And it
no,
could be a possible pump and dump.
yeah, but see, again, you're asking questions because you don't know, and you're not letting me complete my answer.
Well, I'm a financial advisor, and I do
Yeah,
this for a
but
living.
you're
So
not a good listener,
I just,
Frank.
I know,
And
but I see you have your
I
own coin.
I may have to excuse you out of this if you're going to dominate. I don't
No, I'm
want
not going to
someone.
dominate.
Okay, so let me complete my answers. Do I have any support here? Should he let me complete my answers, guys? What do you guys think?
Yeah, because he's a financial advisor. That's one, but he's not understanding the Web 3.0 because I'm with a company that deals with Web 3.0, where the company controls us making the money, but your money stays in your wallet at all times, so nobody can steal it. So if your company shut down in the morning when we got over $30,000 in there, can nothing happen to it because of that. And like you
Exactly.
said, that's the same wallet
Exactly.
that we use. We use the MetaMask wallet as well. And by the way, I'm Coach Price.
Okay,
So
well,
bitch. No,
welcome.
Benny
but the
just
thing
being
is,
rude.
they could push their price of their coin up, buying massive shares of their
Yeah,
coins,
you don't know what
and
you're
then
talking about when it comes to
sell
what
it on.
I'm doing. So I will remove you.
I don't know.
Bye.
You have no endorsements, no financial backing. You have.
All right.
Thank you.
So submit.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Yes,
much.
yes.
Thank you, Ace.
Sounds like
Clearly
some.
does not
Thank
understand.
you. Oh my gosh.
Sounds like a
Clearly don't
troll.
understand.
Really?
It's your show, but We was wondering what took so long to do that, man.
Well,
Lee almost lost dog.
you know,
Who
we are
invited this
recording
guy?
this. So I don't really have anything to hide. But see, if someone doesn't let me complete an answer when in, you know, but perhaps Frank's threatened because you know he's one of the experts. He's one of the financial advisors in the world. He's part of the dinosaur system that's dying right now. Okay, that's what I think about Frank. So Frank had to go.
Because he's not realizing AI and evolution took over years ago, man. You still living off a system that started 20 years ago. That's why it's AI, man. It's intelligence that's a little smarter. That's how they came with it. I knew he was lost when you said it. When you said 3.0, he didn't get it.
Yeah, so if you don't know what a website 3.0 is, it means that there's no money going into that website. Like you can go to a lot of websites and enter your credit card, you're putting money into the website, right? But with a 3.0, the money always stays in your wallet, right? And then it never passes into a website. It just goes from your wallet over to wherever you're going to send it to. You know, that's how 3.0 websites work. Right. So there could be an exchange or it could be whatever. There's a lot of different 3.0 websites out there. We are one of them. And ours is a switch. Okay. So if you look at the design of pool funding at a most rudimentary level, it's a simple switch between paying somebody in the pool or paying a sponsor. And that's all it is. And
That's
so
right.
no money comes to me, right? In other words, when someone presses to do a transaction, the transaction does not go through me and then to someone. It goes from this wallet who's sending the transaction directly to this person who is receiving it. Okay, 100%
Right.
decentralized. Okay. All right. So now he's talking about pump and dump. Okay. All right. So again, he's assuming that I'm trying to get you guys to buy into my coin, and that's what you're going to receive. But if you were here earlier, I was playing a video, which he actually interrupted that video too, you know, because but it talked about we're using something called USDT. I didn't create USDT. Okay. USDT, the reason why it's safe is that it's 100% backed by the dollar. So for every coin that's circulating in on the internet of USDT, there's $1 backing it somewhere in a vault. Okay, it's absolutely 100% backed, and it is actually the world's most popular cryptocurrency or digital currency in the whole world. Okay, and that's what you're receiving. You're not receiving my coin. You're not, my coin you can have, you can get it, but my coin is much like if you go to a game and they're like a Web 3.0 game, and you have to buy gold in order to play the game, and you're going to use the gold here and you're going to use the gold there. It's like digital gold for the game. Okay, that's the utility of the coin. And the utility is that you need to have this play gold to play the game and enjoy the game, and then you buy the coin for that purpose. Okay, now in our case, we have an access fee, like on the $10 pool. In order to access our $10 pool, you got to pay $10 a month. Okay, but you're getting USDT, not our coin. So by accessing the pool, you're not getting our coin, you're getting USDT, which means that you don't have to worry about a pump and a dump, because there never will be a pump and a dump on USDT. Does that make sense, guys?
Yes.
USDT is not my coin. You're just paying me a fee in order to access the pool. Make sense? But here's the interesting thing. What do I do with that fee, guys? It goes into what I call the guarantee fund. So when you pay that $10 a month, it goes into a guarantee fund. And then what I do is I take that, my coin is PFB. Okay, I take my PFB and I sell a little bit of it every day. Okay, so as you make your payments, $10 payments every month, I keep those accumulate, and then I take that and then I sell it down a little bit. I sell those off and I trade those PFB coins for USDT. Okay, what do I do with the USDT? Now I take that USDT, okay, and then I go and I basically pay off excess orders in the pool. So I go to the pool and see that there's a bunch of orders that haven't been paid, And so I take the excess and I start paying them off, paying them off, paying them off, paying them off. $10 there, $10 there, $10 there. Let me show that to you. Show and tell. Documentation beats conversation. All right. Let's see here. Let me go.
Ace, remove that Fredbert from the chat.
The which one?
Fredbert is corrupting the chat.
Oh,
He's a friend of that Frank's.
really?
Wow.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's take
get him out of here.
let's take a look at the chat here. Fredbert. All right, so
Who bought him? Whatever that is.
I don't have the ability to remove him, but let's see here. I don't know, Lisa, can you be on that while I'm doing my presentation? Can you do that, Lisa?
Sure
Lisa-
can.
Lisa's the host.
Yeah.
okay.
Yep.
All right. All right. Anyway, so it's interesting how our very first meeting drew in a pair of trolls. I'm really feeling like I got a badge of honor. That's a badge of honor. When the trolls show
Yeah,
up,
there you go.
you know,
There you go.
you know you're onto something because
That's
why would they be
That's right.
interested? you
No.
know? It's so
You're
funny.
relevant.
I'm relevant. Okay. So here we go. Let's go into, let me go into the guarantee fund first. Okay, I'm in the guarantee fund now. So you can see here, I've got a little bit of PFB here. So I would sell a little bit of that. It turns into USDT. And then I actually go and I pay that down. And this is what's happened so far. So far we've paid $38,620 to our members. See, $10, $10, $10. See all that there? So like Bobby had a couple of accounts. He's got 2 sub accounts here. So Bobby's 2 sub accounts got $10 today. Then Captain Zany got 2 $10 payments there. Okay, and so on. And you can see here there's you know already 3,863 records of members being paid. So that's what's very, very different about pool funding is if you look at our margin here, it'd be one thing if I kept it all right. Think about that. If I kept all of those $10 payments from the members every month and I just say, okay, that's my payday. I mean, most people would say, well, that's well-deserved. You're doing all this and it's totally decentralized. You're not getting any part of the transaction. So how are you going to get paid? Okay, most people would say that's perfectly acceptable, right? Wouldn't you guys agree? Okay, $10 a month to have access to something that pays you $30, 30 days every day, you know?
Yes, definitely.
Most people say that's a fair deal. But I go a
Yes,
step
it is.
further. I take the money that you pay me for the $10 monthly access and I use that to pay members. Okay?
Awesome.
I don't use all of it. I keep a little piece of it, but most of it, I paid out almost $40,000 so far since January of this year on the $10 pool. Okay. And and people love that about that we're completely decentralized and that we're so generous where we actually are, basically doing what we can to keep the pool clean. Because the idea, anytime you make a payment, you're creating an order to get paid back. So some people look at this as like peer-to-peer lending in the sense that you're lending to each other in the pool, right? Some people look at it. It's not totally 100% how it really is, but it's the idea. It kind of resonates. Like think about this: is a pool of people helping each other. Make sense? And so you guys send money to each other, and then when you do that, you're at the same time placing an order to be paid back 100%. You send $10, you get paid back $10, right? There's no interest, there's no fees. Does that make sense, guys? And then as these orders get bigger, I try to pay off the excess orders, in the pool, so that and I pump the market really high up to get the maximum value I can when I go to sell, right? So think about that, how powerful that is. That's the reason why our coin today is already like almost $150,000 per coin. It's only been around for 6 months. Okay. I mean, Bitcoin's struggling to get to 70,000, and we're already twice the value of that in our first 6 months. Think about that.
Awesome.
So the difference is that our supply is very tight, which drives the price up. We have a strong use case for people to buy our coin. So people are not traders. Traders are not buying our coin. but our members are buying our coin. Does that make sense? They have a
Yes.
need, they have a need for it. Okay. So they need our coin for a couple of different reasons. And they buy the coin, which puts positive buying pressure on the coin. And then it gives me a nice high price. And then I go to sell it. That gives me USDT. Then I take that USDT and I then go and pay you guys. Now, right now I'm doing it manually, but before you know it, I'm going to be doing it. It'll be completely automated, right? But everything starts out manual because someone has got to watch what happens to see how to properly program something. That's what we're in that stage right now. Manual's necessary to observe. So once all the observations are completed, then automation will be built properly. Does that make sense? That's what we
Yes.
want.
Yes.
And so basically that's what's going to happen. So when you, that operating budget of $300, it's not an investment. Okay. It's an operating budget. Okay. Open up a 7-Eleven and how much money you're going to make if all of your shelves are empty. Okay.
Nothing.
Someone walks into your 7-Eleven, it's beautiful. You got refrigerators, you got fountain machines, you got cash registers, but every single shelf is empty, right? You're not really in operation without loading those shelves, right? So same thing with pool funding. You need about $30 operating budget to plug into what we're doing. And so you can start getting funding on the $1 pool. You're gonna need about $300 of operating budget in your wallet, in your possession. We're not holding it for you, you're holding it, okay? And you need about 300 of that in order to, be involved in the $10 pool. Okay, and you're going to need much more when we open up the $100 and $1,000 pools later on. So there you go. Anyway, he spun me into a whole bunch of, I hope I answered all of his questions because he wasn't going to give me the chance to answer them, right?
Right.
But I did answer, I think, all those questions he had. Wouldn't you guys agree?
Yes.
Okay, so it's
Yeah,
all
but he's
captured
still
on
on,
recording.
he's still in the chat and giving a lot of hell there.
All right. Well, why let's ask this
Yeah.
guy, Fredberg. Go
I've
ahead.
been deleting them
Okay.
as they're coming in. He's not stopping.
Okay.
He's saying very bad things. You should see it's bad.
All right. Well, it just goes to show how low he is, right? So anyway, let me tell you something. I've got years and years and years of dealing with trolls because anytime you're really starting to do something big, the trolls come out of the woodwork. They love to throw rocks at something big because that makes them feel powerful. But really the fact is it's just showing how small they are. Can we agree on that?
Yeah.
I'm not reading your stuff, my friend, whoever's writing the stuff. I'm actually talking and explaining things, but I've got nothing to prove to any of you that are trying to be trolls here. And you do not need to be a regulated financial advisor to run a Web 3.0 website. And if you think that's not true, go ahead and pull up the law and point to the law. But right now, you're obviously threatened because you're part of a dinosaur system that's crashing. Okay, and your days of collecting, overcharging people commission fees for handling their money for them, those days are over, guys.
Yeah.
You guys that are so-called financial experts where you have the license to rob people, your days are numbered. Do you guys agree with me?
Yes.
Absolutely.
We're done with you. We are
Absolutely.
Yes, I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree. I agree with you.
We do not want to give you guys any more money so you can charge 10% every time you do something for us and then whittle our money down to nothing. And then so, oops, I guess the market screwed up your retirement when in fact it was all of your overcharging of fees to be our official licensed financial advisors. I call bullshit on the whole system. Bullshit. Okay. All right,
Well said.
hopefully that won't get me
Well
banned off
said,
YouTube.
Ace,
Uh,
I'm so glad that you're saying this because I'm gonna tell you what, Fred, Bert, and whoever else you are, you guys should have told my financial advisor back in 2008 when they took all my state money and they were financial advisors. So go track those guys down.
There you
Go
go.
track
Hey,
them
Cassandra.
Well said.
They must have fell asleep when the Enron scandal hit, when people lost all their hard-earned money.
Yeah.
Exactly.
People trusting in the financial advisor.
Anyway, if you're coming into somebody else's presentation as a troll, why are you threatened by what I'm doing? That's my question to you. Why are you so threatened that you have to come into my presentation about my creation to, and you know, act like, you know, I don't even know who you are. We've never met as far as I'm concerned. Why are you so threatened by this? Right? So listen, I have no problem meeting with you guys one-on-one. If you want to meet with me one-on-one, I will be more than happy to do that face to face. I noticed that Frank did not want to show his face. Did you guys notice that?
Yep.
Yeah.
But you see my face, I'm the real
Yeah,
deal.
that's right. That's
Okay.
right.
Okay, I'm
Yeah,
not
buddy.
hiding from anyone, but you trolls are. You're in the cracks in the corners like cockroaches, hiding because you don't want to expose that you're actually, you know, not a good person. Okay, and you probably don't look too pretty when it comes to the camera. So you know, that's usually trolls are generally ugly, just like the storybooks say in the fairy tales. You know, they hide under bridges for a reason. Okay,
Ah,
all right, there you go. Anyway, so
Mhm.
I'm sorry that you know, I hope you guys got the energy of pool funding. There's no way you're going to know everything about pool funding in one meeting. We offer a full course. It would take you less than, you know, 2 hours, like, you know, the time it would take to watch a good movie, get through the entire course. And then you'd have a really good understanding of pool funding before you'd ever spent a penny. I highly recommend that you take the free course so that you get well informed before doing any kind of making a decision, whether you're going to be a part of this or not. And let's face it, to be a part of us, you can be part of us for $30. You can be part of us for $300. I'm not asking for crazy money here to get started with this, am I? Is that crazy money?
No,
No,
Okay.
No.
But try to
Not
go to
at
one
all.
of these financial advisors and tell me you only got $30 to get started with your financial plan. What are they going to tell you? There's the door. See ya. Right? Even if you come in with $300, there's the door. See, you don't have enough to even start a financial plan with these guys. Are licensed experts, right? So
Right.
they're dinosaurs. Their days are numbered. We are people coming together to help people, people helping people, community driven. Okay. You know, we are almost like some people think it is like a peer-to-peer, you know, lending network that's interest free. Okay. Think about that. You know, pretty cool stuff. But there's lots of circulation happening within pool funding, and this generates power for us to pump money out of the market. There's $3 trillion in the crypto market, and right now we've got our fingers on about 300 billion. So if you look at our two coins and you look at the market cap on our two coins, 300 billion. That's what we're already set to pull out 300 billion right now. Okay. And let me tell you, fast forward a year from now, we will have pulled out $1 billion out of the crypto market, $1 billion in our first year. You watch me do it. We'll pull $1 billion out and give it to you. So you can either be part of that or not. So the choice is yours. All right, that's it, guys. We were out of time. I think we kind of went way over here.
Great job, Ace.
All right, thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and end the recording now.